Welcome to the Trashcats Trashcast. I'm Richard.
I'm Steven.
And today is our freestyle episode.
Oh, shit.
Right? Been waiting for this one all month.
Hell yeah.
But,
Dude, how was your week? How was your day? What's going on?
My week's actually been smooth as fuck segue. My week's been good. I fell off the Fringe rewatching that because I got to the 5th season and I hadn't seen that one yet, and I wanted to go back and rewatch some of the special features on the other Blu-rays, and I got a couple of those in, and I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna watch the 5th season. So I started doing that again this week.
Hell yeah.
I've been binge listening again to The Adventure Zone Amnesty, which is one of my favorites by them. They got a new season coming out, and I usually like to try to binge those, so I'm gonna let it build up a couple episodes before I get too deep into it.
You're just catching up on everything.
Yeah, man, just, reliving the finer times.
Fuck yeah.
I was looking at, of course there's a whole list of different stuff I want to listen to and stuff that I want to watch, and it's like that's a big commitment to get into something, especially when some of them are like already 7 seasons deep and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know I like this other show though, and it would make me feel good to watch it, so I'm just going to do that instead.
Besides, we just heard Captain Save-A-Ho stimulus check.
Damn right, man. Hey, shouts out to Captain Save-A-Ho. Go look him up on YouTube. Look for that stimulus check song.
Let me flip your taxes, dog.
Right?
Oh, dude, that had me
need a dependent.
Cracking up, man. So you just been chilling, catching up on shit, working.
Yeah, man, working hard. We've been taking the smoothie truck out, man. We're doing really good. We've been getting busier and busier each time as the weather gets warmer.
Hell yeah.
I'm waiting for this June's gonna be fucking bonkers.
Dude, was it nice out for you today? It was so awesome here.
Oh, it was fucking gorgeous. I had the windows open all day, and we got like a screen door I had pulled open.
Yeah.
Fucking so nice.
Dude, this is like the first summer in a while. I haven't been, since being 16, I haven't worked outside all summer, so I'm like pasty white. It's so weird. I feel so weird. It was funny today.
It's white boy Steven.
Yeah, for real.
How's your week been?
Hey, dude, it's been pretty good. It's been mostly fairly good. Today I was building a pool. Built a pool today. That was all right. Needed some cash. Hanging out with my buddy. But I heard back earlier this week about my my coding credentials, my exam, and I passed this exam, so that was major relief.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm officially an apprenticed that's what you're called when you first pass. You're an apprentice medical coder, so I am eligible to work now. As long as they don't hear our podcast, I can have a job. It's been good, man. So I've been chilling, taking the weekend to kind of get my shit together, get resumes and stuff, and then Monday I'm hitting the bricks.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to pick up my kitty. I've been getting pictures. She looks adorable, and hopefully in the next week or so I get to pick her up.
Hell yeah.
And then last night, dude, we had it was almost the whole gutter gang was over.
Yeah, boy.
At the house, we were playing Halo. Had you on the mic, getting passed around to everybody playing.
That was dope, man.
Dude,
it was a good time.
So funny. Like the homies, Grayson, Will, Sam were all over, and it was like you were a celebrity for the night. It was Podcast Ricky. They're like, Podcast Ricky is real. Holy shit.
Podcast Ricky, yeah.
Podcast Ricky. They were trying to Venmo you for hot sauce and everything.
Yeah, boy. Get that hot sauce hustle on.
Dude,
I was just telling you, you texted me that earlier that, I was like a celebrity. I was like, man, that's exactly how it's like every time I hear that like Sam's coming over, and it's like, oh fuck, man, I don't ever get to talk to Sam. Dude, what's up, dude? We talk about him all the time, but I don't ever get a chance to talk to him really.
Right, dude, it was so funny. He bounced on the earlier side. He's like, I can tell he gets so sick of my bullshit and then his brother's bullshit too. He's like, guys, I have to be on a phone call with China in the morning, like 7 a.m. I have to go. Like, I think we lost every round of Slayer for 2 hours straight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was so bad. It was great.
Well, we're getting old, Steven. These young bucks out here in the MLG.
All right. I was trying to get John over too, but he's been recording some I think it's YouTuber, some dude that plays hang drum, and he's getting paid to like record and mix these dudes album and video or whatever. So
oh hell yeah.
Yeah, next time I'll get him over. But yeah, man, that was really fun. It's just been I'm just trying to catch up on a lot this week. I've wanted to be working on more art and writing and stuff, but I've really needed time to like chill out a bit, and I'm trying to get back on my regular grind here ASAP.
Right. So I know you got some honorable mentions.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shout out to my homies. This first link. This is my buddy Anubis. His Instagram is Anubis_FX. But his main dig, he says, go to his Twitter. His tweeter, it is AnubisFX. And his @ is money overseas, all one word. This dude's really cool, digital artist. His style is kind of similar to mine in the sense that it's design, collage-based, Photoshop, digital shit, but very different subject matter. I've worked with him in the past. He's a very cool dude. He's actually in the military. He sent me some art before, a shirt that was really cool. Yeah, we're trying to connect later this week on stuff, but he's into the NFT game right now, and he's had like positive momentum before, but the whole NFT thing for a lot of digital artists is kind of a game changer, and he keeps encouraging me to get involved. But he collabs with a ton of people, so he'll do these like collage pieces with other artists, and some of them are just really fucking gnarly. This first one on his Instagram, just posted today, titled "Consume" with art.bydomo. It's got this Uncle Sam vibe that's like evil as shit.
Oh yeah, I was looking at this one earlier. It's got I like the Pope in the middle with the inverted cross.
He does some really fun stuff. He's got a very distinctive style, and that's something I've spoke about before. If sometimes your art being memorable, like having a distinct aesthetic and look, is more like being memorable can be more powerful than remarkable sometimes. You know what I mean?
I can see. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not saying his stuff is remarkable, but all of his stuff has a very unique aesthetic that I think makes his stuff stand out a lot. And then if you go over to the right column, the second one down, this one's one of my favorite pieces that he's done recently. I think it's titled Ethereum based Mafia, which is all NFT slang stuff. But this one he did with this other artist at Maltique, whatever. I don't know him, but really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Very fun.
Yeah, the use of color is really cool. The kind of I was gonna say I wanted to say kind of like a vaporwave kind of a vibe to it, but that's kind of putting it into a box where it doesn't belong, because I get that kind of some of the colors and design stuff kind of leans me toward that, but there's not really only because there's not a better descriptor I can think of.
Yeah, I do think it's fair to say both him and myself definitely have pulled inspiration from vaporwave, because he was back on the internet way back in the day when I was really getting started, and there weren't a lot of artists doing what we were doing, and I think we were both inspired by and we're kind of part of some of those that movement to an extent. Neither of us were specifically vaporwave. It's still like all that digital art kind of evolved during that same period. Lots of mirroring, lots of symmetry with asymmetrical elements, very bold digital color work. Really cool dude, really fun to talk to. I think definitely worth shouting out his rad stuff. Check him out, AnubisFX on Twitter and Instagram.
Hell yeah.
The second dude is another one of my internet homies. On Instagram, it is at Stroke of Moonlight, all one word. That one's pretty easy. This dude does like goth, metal, brutal stuff. A lot of like references to paganism. He does digital design work and mixed media work, like including sculpture, painting. I think there's like some even paper mache. Like he'll build things on canvases. Very, very kind dude. He sent me some art in the past printed on this really cool canvas. He's currently working on this project that looks really cool. His graphic design game, I think, leveled up pretty hard. It looks really rad. It's called the Quest for the Black Flame, and him and one of his buddies are doing a dungeon synth album, which dungeon synth is so fucking rad. Are you familiar?
No, but I can probably piece together in my head what, something what that sounds like. That sounds like a kick ass though.
Yeah, it's just like a black metal synth album that you would listen to traveling through dungeons. Like it's kind of like the not pop, like electronica of like castle metal, black metal shit. So I think his buddy is the musician and he's doing all of the art, and it's like a whole story, like Lord of the Rings metal story. Like it's got its own character's development story arc, and they're doing this big project together. Very cool dude. He's done some podcasting himself and is very into philosophy and, deeper questioning the human psyche kind of stuff. Very fun to talk to.
Yeah, I've actually, I started following them a little while, like a couple years ago, I think now. I started seeing them in the comment section of your Instagram. And I
start connecting on the
internet. I was like, oh, that looks, their whatever their image was that looked cool. And I went to their page and just some, awesome original artwork.
Yeah, what's been fun, I mean, myself included, like I've witnessed both of them grow a lot over the years. I know my work has as well. And it's interesting when like in a digital space, like artists pass, like collide or overlap, or, like you talk to somebody for a while and then you don't talk to him for a year or whatever. Yeah. Somebody falls off or comes back on, including myself. I've definitely had periods of that for myself for sure. And then you like recross and you see like how much a person's work has grown or evolved or just changed. And both of them have continued to level up, and it's really fun. Having some sense of community or like just other artists you can connect with.
It's huge. It makes all the difference.
Definitely. So this is at Stroke of Moonlight and at AnubisFX. Check these motherfuckers out. Super rad dudes doing some cool shit.
Hell yeah.
What else? What you been thinking about this week, man?
It's mostly been good. My depression's been kind of waning mostly. So I'm doing a lot better on that aspect. So, I think it's mostly been for me thinking about, this summer job that I got, I keep talking about it. It's one of the easier gigs I've ever done. It's been, it's already put me in a bunch of really cool places that I wouldn't have, taken the time to travel to and, just locally, but it's nice to have a job that's kind of, like outdoors and, it's easy enough in the execution that I get to, really spend time and care about it and focus on, learning the customers. I think I'm getting better at remembering and recognizing our regular customers and stuff like that. And that's all I like doing that, because I know that makes a difference for a lot of people. So,
yeah. And I don't want this to sound presumptive, but in a way, because you have more free time and the job it's getting, opposed to being at the same store, managing and dealing with all that stress, you're going to different place. It's kind of like giving you more like social time, right? In the like,
oh, absolutely,
like meeting different people, different places, and I know you love all that. So it's like, I'm sure that part of it is like so satisfying.
Yeah, I'd say I love all that in this exact setting where like I'm at work and I'm doing what I'm really good at doing, and then like I love being social with people usually when I'm in chef mode, because that's like my position of power, I guess. That gives me the social confidence, I guess, that as an introverted person normally I'm like, I don't want to interact with fucking anybody. But like here, I'm the man. I'm the one that people are coming here to talk to, so that they can ask these questions about whatever the fuck, and and I can do a service for them, and and that's the kind of thing I like. I like feeling like I'm part of the community, Dude, in some way.
You're almost like a video game character with different costumes. You got podcast Ricky, you got Chef Ricky. Like you can be very versatile in your like, placed in a different environment depending on what mode you're in. It's cool.
Fucking chameleon.
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah. Well, I'm so glad.
What you've been thinking about?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I've been having a lot of like apprehensive thoughts because getting my certification and upcoming job stuff, like I've really been at the last couple years, really since getting sober this time around, I'm at a major fork in the road, and I'm very excited and looking forward to like making money and like having a house or like like having anything of my own and being like stable for the first time, and just like this new path in life. But I'm very aware that as soon as this starts, my free time is going to be so much less, because for a decade, I do whatever the fuck when I want. Like, I just like have not fit in with any societal norms or expectations. And I know when this starts, I can't work on art 10 hours in a day if I want to, or do XYZ. Like my creative output will be lower. Like we'll still be podcasting, but I know like might not have as much time to research. I might not be writing like I like to. I might not get as much art done. And I know for at least the first year or two, I'm going to be kind of like under someone else's control as an employee with my time.
Right.
And I honestly, that part sucks me. I'd much rather be poor.
Yeah, that part does suck.
Yeah, that's not something I've never done well with for any length of time. But I chose this because I wanted to make this sacrifice so that I can, in the long run, create a lot more. Like once my life kind of gets straightened out, I'll have the time and resources and hopefully balance in my life to make a lot more. Because realistically, I'm probably going to be working full time. But after like a year or two and like becoming fully licensed, I could work freelance, I could work part-time, I could choose my own hours, work remotely. And then I really don't give a fuck about money. It's just freedom tickets to me. So as long as I have enough money to survive, I'm cool with working 20 hours a week at a level of pay I've never had before, and then balancing and splitting my time with creative pursuits. So
right.
It's a long-term sacrifice, but honestly, I'm bummed out in a lot of ways. I'm anxious and bummed out, but I'm also, I'm proud of myself too, and excited and in a way. But it's like entering adult world again, and
it fucking sucks.
You guys have been there for so long. I'm like, fuck. I do everything 5 years after everybody. I'm like college. I'll, drop out, whatever. I'll get there eventually. It just takes me an extra 5-10 years. So figuring it out though.
Yeah, I'm of the strong opinion that there's no there's no real, time limit on that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's different lifestyles, different shit, and like you have your own shit that you've been doing, whether it was dumb shit or making artwork, and your focus was just in a different place, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have a lot to show for that.
I appreciate that. I do kind of feel like though if like I really thought I might have failed my credentials, and I was happy to find out I actually did pretty decent, but I really thought I failed, and my plan was just to retake it till I pass. But I was getting worried because I feel like if I don't do it this time around, like I've done college before, and as I'm graduating college, I catch some felonies, and it just fucked everything up. And it's like I feel like if it doesn't work out when I'm going into my 30s, like my chances of things working out are so much less. So I feel a lot of pressure, even if it's internally, to make things work this time, because it just needs to.
Right.
But it's good too. It's a weird position.
I read a thing earlier today, and I'm rounding around, going around the corner to 32.
Dude, it's weird. When did we get old, bro?
Right. It said, you learn in your 20s, earn in your 30s, and live in your 40s.
I like that. I think that's true for a lot of people.
I'm down with that concept. I feel like I spent a lot of, my 20s busting my ass, and I definitely learn a lot because I don't have much to show for it besides experience. I mean, I have great experience, but, as far as money goes, it's not a high paying, industry.
Yeah.
So there's that. But, I feel like, as much as you feel like that, and you probably have a lot more just cause to feel that way, I also feel a lot of that because it's like, I have a temporary summer gig, and then I don't have shit lined up after that. I know that I have options, I guess, but like, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up,
Dude, it's like that meme of the raccoon, like, howdy partner. Howdy partner. I have no idea where I'm going, partner, or whatever the fuck it was. The raccoon with the cowboy hat.
I'm sure it exists, and I can picture it in my head like a bell, but I don't think I've ever seen it before.
I'll send it to you later. I posted it on the Instagram. But dude,
good, yeah.
Yeah, man. What you said, though, is very true. You do have options because you've worked so hard that your reputation has preceded you a little bit in your industry. Like, people want you to work, which is like a testament to how hard you've worked, Yeah,
man, that struck me. I feel proud on that one.
Fuck yeah. Fucking Jiro over here cooking up sushi and hot. You could be Venmo and hot sauce all over the country, bro.
Where's my Michelin star? Where's my goddamn Michelin star?
Dude, for real, would that ever be like...
Someone call Gordon Ramsay.
Has that ever been like a real goal for you?
No. When I was in culinary school, it was a little bit, and then the more I learned about the system, it just... I realize that there's so much, I guess, the pomp and frill of fine dining, classical fine dining. It seems like so much hoity-toity bullshit, and that like you can make an incredible, plate of food or an incredible dining experience for someone that doesn't have to cost them, $200, and you don't need, 12, 13 people in the kitchen. It doesn't seem. That seems like a whole mess of shit.
Yeah. Man, dude, I am an animal when I eat. Like, I have I am animal, like, carved and then tattooed on my chest. When I eat, I am like a starving cannibal or like a hyena with a carcass. Like, it's bad. Like, especially sober, dude, it's way worse. I can't control myself. Like, I have major food problems now.
Are you saying that, like, you eat really fast?
Dude, like, someone's going to take my food, and like, honestly, from like rehab or like desperate junkie vibe stuff, like, if even Sarah and we've talked about it plenty at this point, but if I share my food, it's different if I know I have friends over, like I'm giving out candy. I always got candy, or I'm like,
yeah, man, you had the Airheads hooked up last night.
My buddy works at the Airhead factory, and he hooks me up with boxes, bro. I had 400 Airheads. I probably gave out 100 Airheads in the last 24 hours.
Fuck yeah.
But like I've talked to her about it. Like if I have a limited amount of food, like I made a certain amount of food for me and she wants a couple bites, or like I wasn't expecting to share, I still will. Like, of course I'm going to.
You're just not happy about it.
Dude, like I am like defense, like it's like fight or flight kicks in. I'm like, you're taking my fucking food and I'm going to starve. And it's like not that way at all. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
But I really feel that way. It's like a primal thing. Like I feel like I'm supposed to fight whoever's taking my food. So like I really want to try some of the sensory I said that so bad. Experience dinings, like the eating in the dark, or some things that like force me to appreciate food better.
Some stuff like that. I'm not sure that it would make you appreciate food better. I think it just might be fun.
That might be true.
I think it's one of those, like, I feel like to get that effect of like your senses, your other strengths get stronger when you take away one, you gotta be there for a minute for your body to adjust to that. Like you gotta be in that cave for a couple of days in the dark before your, sense of smell gets that much wilder.
Yeah, dude, when you said that, you wouldn't appreciate it anyway. That made me like laugh, like inside laugh, because like I used to always have the attitude like I'm not going to appreciate shit. But all right, so when I was
and I didn't mean like you specifically.
I know.
Okay.
But my buddy in rehab, he was one of my best. He's the one I'm actually writing this book about, which weird story another time. I don't know where he's at. Oh, it's all kinds of crazy. But we would write poetry in rehab, like to kill time, but we would make it like parody or like calling out other people in AA. Like it was like mean poetry, but it was written in like very professional or like beautiful prose. And like I have this book full of all these poems that are really fucking funny by two junkies in rehab, like going back and forth. And one of his lines, and it's like my favorite, it's his favorite thing he ever wrote, and it's my favorite thing anyone else has wrote in that kind of realm. And like it ends on a cutlet or whatever. What do you call it? The two lines that change the rhyme scheme at the end of a whatever. I was just doing poetry homework with my little sister, but one of the lines was, "I've never learned anything with a smile on my face." And it's like he has the driest, like I can picture him his entire life never learning anything with a smile on his face, and it makes me laugh so fucking hard. It's like, what a piece of shit. So sarcastic.
Yeah, as far as especially the sensory things like that, I think there's a lot to be done with those, and it can be a lot of fun. And I'm not saying, fine dining's all bullshit, but it just seems like it's like I said, it's pomp and frills and shit that I'm not into. It's like, there's a lot of waste that goes on to get the right cuts and stuff like that. It's like, I'm going to use this whole fucking onion. And if the fucking, julienne isn't the perfect length, I don't give a fuck. It's going to cook, just fine. And that's the other one, is like, it's like you want the cuts to be the same so they cook evenly. But like, I prefer, for the most part, when things have like a little bit of different texture in it. Like,
yeah,
not to the point where something's like super soggy and like super, undercooked. But like, like if I got, carrots in here in a soup or something, I don't mind if one's, got a little bit more bite to it. Because it's just a little bit of a bigger piece. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I think that adds a nice texture and a nice mouthfeel to the food. And there's so much of that gets lost when you try to refine everything to a certain point.
Just perfect. Yeah, it's like that variety is almost a spice in and of itself.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Man, my dad he won at like a school raffle this Traeger grill, and we've been like every week getting, smoking up some really good shit.
Hell yeah, man.
It's a whole nother level, man.
Is it a pellet smoker?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Those are the fucking bomb right there. That's what my dad uses. Oh, my dad makes the bomb ass fucking smoked salmon.
I bet you guys kill it, dude.
Oh, he makes it like on a regular basis because we just keep it around the house. It's like we would just eat it for, breakfast and like maybe a little bit, as a snack later on, and like, with some fucking eggs in the morning. Oh,
that sounds so, dude, salmon's one of my favorites ever. Like I will eat salmon, hot, cold, whatever, every day for the rest of my life if I could.
Yeah, I think smoked or
teriyaki.
Oh man, a good teriyaki glazed on a salmon. I've been doing like a not blackened, because that's not really what it is. It's like a charred crust, kind of like an herby,
with
crust.
Pepper and herb.
Oh my god, yeah! I got one of those, the grinder with the tricolor. I got the pink and the green and the it's quad, I guess, with the white and the black peppercorns in it.
Yeah,
and yeah, man, that's the move. And then I learned this, I guess. I can't remember if it was actually in culinary school or if I just by cooking at home. It was like everyone always like cooks the salmon like all the way through, and then it gets like it's fine and you can still have it, well done, but still be pretty tender. Yeah. But like if you can leave it a little bit raw, depending on where you get it to, but like you can leave it a little raw in the center, a little pink there, and it adds a lot of, texture and a lot of flavor to it that you wouldn't get otherwise. And that's my fucking jam right there.
Was
kind of sear it like a tuna just a little bit longer. And
yeah. See, with salmon, I can kind of deal with a little pink in the middle, but with other meats, I think it's just an anxiety thing. Like I don't like the blood doesn't gross me out at all, but I don't like rare meat.
That's fair. Yeah, I anything besides like salmon and beef are the two.
You'll go for it.
I like rare kind of shit. Even like pork, I like depending on the pork. Like I'm not really big into eating pork that much anyways. If I get a good piece of it, like a nice medium well on a pork, it's cooked all the way through. It's just not I don't dry like as fuck.
I feel like it always tastes bad.
Yeah,
like
because usually because it's dry as fuck and it's
like turkey.
You cook all the flavor out of it.
Like a Thanksgiving turkey, I'm like, can we do anything else? Like I would like anything
You'll get
else.
Duck. Get a fucking duck in.
I haven't had
them boys are good as fuck.
Yeah, that does sound good. I like doing like Chinese food or like some sushi or Indian or something for Thanksgiving. I'm just so over turkeys,
Hey man, that's actually
turkey motherfuckers.
That's a move right there,
dude. It's so good. Chinese.
We used to do Friendsgiving with work, and we would just, it would sometimes it'd be like a potluck of whatever. One year we did like a traditional Thanksgiving kind of spread, and then the second year, I made fried rice. I made them fried rice and shit.
I bet that was insane.
Oh yeah, dude, I make banging ass fried rice.
Dude, I still want that pancake sushi so bad, or the egg sushi.
Oh yeah, dude.
I still haven't
fucking shit.
I keep looking places, but Cincinnati does not have a wide variety of egg sushi.
All right,
well, looks so good, man.
We can fix that. We'll hit up Little Tree up here. We'll
all right,
alleviate that problem.
God, that sounds so good. I keep getting the crab raccoons.
Yeah, boy.
Those crabby raccoons.
There was a night we were in high school still, and we were in David's basement partying with some of his brother's older friends, and we were like, it was near the end of the night, like we were all fucked and about to pass out, and somebody was talking about crab rangoons, and I from across the fucking room just heard crab rangoons, and I was like, oh man, I love them little bitches. And I got that quoted back to me for like the next 3-4 years of my life.
God, that's the best.
And I stood by it. I love them little bitches.
Oh shit, dude,
Things are good as hell. Man, Chinese food's the one too. Doing the no and low carb shit right now. It's like all Chinese food is just carbs.
Yeah,
it's not rice, it's noodles. Even if you go without it, most of the time they have like cornstarch and stuff all over the proteins or in the sauces and shit, and it's like and sugars.
Dude,
it's like it makes it taste so good though.
Dude, you've been doing really good with it, like diet stuff. Right now, dude, my diet is trash, bro. It's just garbage in, garbage out. Like I try, but I've fallen into the trap of eating bad because I'm poor. And it's like I've ate like very healthy other times I've been poor, but like it's so much easier to eat like shit. It's
Taco Bell like is splurging.
I don't do fast food. I'm actually good on that, but I just like eat tons of peanut butter or like cheap snacks, or I'm getting like I did do Chipotle today, which is better than a fast food, but I'm not like cooking. I'm not cooking maybe every other day or something. I'm not. It's things I can grab, you know what I mean? Where I'm just not. It's not good. It's not consistent, and it's so goofy because I've been working out like literally every day for like the last 3 years, and then I eat like trash, and I'm like, oh, why is it? I'm not reaching my goals, and it's like I'm not fucking fueling myself.
Yeah. I had I'm sure I told you this before. I had a solid month, maybe a month and a half, where when I moved up here, all I made at home was grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
I made grilled cheese sandwiches with some jalapeno slices on them. And that was, just go to the grocery store, get a loaf of bread and a couple packs of, I was getting American cheese. I eventually upgraded. But I was doing American, singles, and then some fucking a jar of some jalapenos.
Yeah. What did you upgrade to though?
Oh, it's cheddar.
Yeah.
Actual cheese.
Yeah, I hate those American things. I mean, I've definitely ate my fair share, but
yeah,
real cheddar's the way to go.
Just man, I got $8 at the grocery store. It got me, food for a week.
Dude, almost every night I eat a sliced green apple with peanut butter. That's my go-to.
That's a good jam right there, man. I mean, if you're gonna pick a snack, that's a great snack,
dude. And it'll cost you less than $10, and it literally has the calories and decent health to be a full meal every day for over a week for $10. So that's been like my go-to.
Something sweet, got that protein, good fats in it.
I know, it's like I've really been like tempted to do steroids again. I'm like, maybe I should like eat vegetables first, or like
try getting your nutrition in the normal way first, and then
exactly. I'm a fucking idiot.
Man, I'll set you up with a meal plan. I'll work on a menu with you. I
need to. Honestly, man, I really think once I'm going to be probably doing job hunting stuff for the next couple of weeks, but I think once I get back into work mode, I'm fine. Like, I can't get up in the morning, depression shit. Like, I stay up all night. I can't wake up in the morning. It's been this way my whole life, where I just don't sleep. But if I know I have to work in the morning, like, I've got up at 1 to 2 p.m. for like the last year. And then like I had to be up at 8:30 a.m. for work. I had no problem. I was up, went to bed a little earlier than normal, like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I was up, no problem. And when I know I have to work, I need money, I can get into good routines, but I just can't if there's not something like forcing me to a little bit.
Right.
It's those things in life, like adversity shit, like not that, I mean, to an extent, getting up for work for a normal person every day, that's like facing shit you don't want to do. I mean, it's not like a real level of suffering, but it's something, right? Like no one wants to do it, but like that kind of shit, it makes you better. like the worse shit is, the better you can be at handling.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. That's, you know, we were talking about that the other day at work. My boss called me. We had an event on a Wednesday night, and he called me a couple days beforehand. Some corporate business up here had a cancellation for like their lunch hour thing, and they were like, "Do you guys want to come up here and fill in?" And we were like, yeah. You know, like he said, you know, he called me first and was like, "Are you cool with that?" We got the thing in the evening, you know, so like that turned, you know, what would have been like a 6-hour shift into a 12-hour shift, and it was like I'm like, yeah, man, like I'm fucking down, like let's fucking do it. Like it's a 12-hour shift, but it's only like, you know, 8 or 9 hours of actual serving. You know, we had a break in between, and you know, you're driving back and forth, and it, you know, it really wasn't even all that. And he told me that he had actually never done a double with the truck before, and so that was his first time doing it too. And you know, we were tired by the end of it, but you know, it's
once you're going, it's easier to keep going sometimes, but
yeah,
it's still a lot.
But then, you know, afterward, we had we were talking about, you know, this makes it easier when you think about like, oh, you know, this thing's coming up short notice, or, you know, I got, you know, a 9-hour day tomorrow or the next day. And it's like, you know, that's nothing now. We knocked out this 12.
Right.
And that was easy. Like we killed it. So
that's,
you know, everything else just makes it look easier by perspective. You get stronger from it.
Dude, that's so true. The perspective aspect of it. I mean, I was explaining this to a social worker this week on, they're like, oh, you know, things are always hard. And I was like, oh, to live is to suffer, right? Like it's kind of a throwaway line, but that's, you know, a lot of Buddhist belief stuff. And I really do like prescribe to the idea. I think we have a choice in accepting, like we don't have to let it feel like suffering. That's all mental. That's all perspective. But being a human fucking sucks. Like having to sleep, like having thoughts all the time, needing food to exist. Like it's a shitty, miserable existence. And you can choose for it not to be that way, but life is just varying degrees of suffering and what you choose to make that suffering mean or not
right.
mean. I really feel strongly about that. I think one of the things I had wrote the last couple of years is that, you know, the world is fire and we must be marble. And it's like,
yeah,
I really feel that way. You know, everything sucks, and you just have to find a way to be strong and polished through all the bullshit.
You know, it's the what is it? It's not always about the cards you're dealt, but how you play them, or something like that.
Know how to hold them.
God damn it!
When to fold them.
Fuck. I did that to myself. You know, because sometimes it is about, you know, the hand you're dealt, but you know, if you can take a shitty situation and try to, you know, learn something from it, or, you know, whatever, then at least you come out with new experience, something that you've gained from it, and it wasn't a complete loss.
Ideally.
You know, yeah. It might feel like it for, you know, for years even, and then you can, you know, you'll be put into a similar experience and you have, you know, prior knowledge. Right.
Now, speaking of holding cards, now my guess is you're not afraid of risk, but I don't see you as like a gambler, both in the literal and figurative sense. I don't see you as a gambler. You into gambling? Do you got debts?
In a literal sense, no. I've never actually been to a casino before.
What?
If I do go, if I'm, you know, because we've talked about it before, like going for a fun, you know, a thing or whatever. Like slot machines might be cool.
Honestly,
Pachinko's fun. Honestly, I would rather go to Dave and Buster's.
Dude, same, bro. At least you know you're gonna get some tickets and cash out with like a pencil eraser.
Yeah, get me a pencil cap and you know, a couple Tootsie Rolls. And
honestly, unless you're drinking or like down to get fucked up and lose all your money, like casinos suck. Like gambling is stupid. I never understood like I really enjoy it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't get fully into it because I love the adrenaline and thrill, and I could have like, you know, lost a fortune if I got into it. But like with drug stuff, it's like unless you're getting scammed, something goes wrong, violent, whatever, like you pay money, you get a product. But if I spend that money to go to the casino, that money is gone 90% of the time. It's just math. So it's like, I feel like I'm willing to take risks and gamble with things, but I'm not gambling with my money.
Yeah. I've heard that from people that, you know, they're justifying it for themselves. And like, if you have fun doing it, I guess that's cool. But they were like, you know, I save up, you know, a certain amount of money, and then I go, you know, to this place, and I, you know, this, you know, for a casino area or whatever, you know, one person told me they go to Vegas like once a year, and, you know, it's like their vacation. It's like a chance to treat themselves, and they have fun doing it. And, you know, they save up a certain amount of money that they know they're going to go in and lose. And it's like, that seems
That's
like,
fine.
that sounds like it's fucked though.
But,
I guess if like you're going to go somewhere and like spend money on anything anyways, if that's the thing that you're into, but it's like you can lose so much money so quickly.
Right.
And then, you know.
But most of the people that do that, they're really like losing it slow. And it's, I mean, if that's a vacation you treat yourself to once a year, that's a real like release, you know, like it's taking the pressure valve off. Like a lot of those people really enjoy it, but you know, I think there's a lot more people that are like actual gambling addicts versus people who just enjoy it and have, because I mean that's an awesome release if you have that cash to spend like that.
Are people that are going in there with the intention that like they're gonna win big tonight, they're gonna come home with more money than they came in with.
Yeah,
you know, like that's you can't go into a casino with that mentality
unless you're actually good and talented, which is a legit thing with like pokers and stuff. Like people who really know how to count cards or like know the math.
Yeah. Okay. If you're one of the 0.01% of the population, that's actually a savant.
I know a dude that he no longer does. I don't know what he does now, but I know he's been out of it for a long time, but he was very skilled at it, and he also ran books for like illegal gambling because he was like trustworthy, but he was like real good with poker numbers, and he could like
nice
dude, like his cleanup every year was going to all the West Side like church festivals and shit. Because the numbers don't get so high that you're getting in trouble or you're not like there all the time. So you can just sit around, lose a couple hands, and then clean up from all these drunk basketball dads, you know? And you just you plan a circuit of all the places in the tri-state that you can get away with winning more than you lose, and you can plot what you're going to make that month. And like, I mean, I'm sure there were downsides to it, and maybe it went worse than I thought, but it seemed like it worked very well for him. And it was fun to watch, you know?
Yeah, good for him.
It's a stressful life, though, all those ups and downs.
Yeah, I need, as far as, you know, and that's the other one is like in a general sense of gambling things, like I need stability. Like there's some, you know, risks I'm willing to take, but only if I'm so confident in my odds. Like I'm cool on like, taking this temporary job because I know when fall comes around,
you're good.
You know, I'll have something. Right. Yeah. I'll take a couple weeks off and I'll go visit my dad, and, you know, I'll come visit Cincinnati, and then I'll do something. Yeah.
You're taking a chance, but it's calculated, and you have high confidence because you have good reason to have that confidence in your decision. Yeah, that's.
I'm literally at a point now where finding a job is less about getting a job. It's more about finding the job that I want. Mm-hmm. So I'm not super worried on it. The other one is like with that is a double-edged sword because I don't like, you know, the idea of starting a job that I plan on quitting, like starting a job because I need, to get one real quick. And then when something better comes along, like dipping, I don't like that only because I insert myself and I try to like become a part of, whatever I'm working on. And then, splitting that is hard. I get involved with the people working there, and you build a little camaraderie with people, and then I don't want to fucking quit so easy. But
I'm the exact opposite. Anywhere I've like, there's sometimes I tell somebody ahead of time, like text them like, hey, I'm out today or whatever. But like any job I've ever been at, like let's say longer than a month, like even places like I've been at for a couple months, or like college, like you're there for so many years and you see people all the time. The day I get off, the day I'm at college, the day I get out of rehab, the day I'm at a job and I'm going to leave, I just leave and never talk to anyone or look back. Done. Like burnt bridges everywhere, dude. It's just an island of burning bridges. Just done.
Now, I can say that's also pretty much true for me. But like while I'm in that moment, I don't want to let go of it. I think it's also because of the stability. Leaving that, it's like you're starting fresh again from wherever you start, move on to.
Dude, I mean, frankly, like your level of stability, I mean, not that it's been like not necessarily an attractive factor, but it's something I've always respected about you and always have been like, not in a bad way at all, but like a little envious, where it's like, you have a lot of that, and I think it's fucking awesome. And as my life's been increasingly less chaotic, I've been slowly realizing how much I crave stability, because I wasn't used to it, and like I really like things quiet and stable.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that kind of change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially living some of the rowdy shit you were living.
It's weird.
I can check my own privilege. I know I came from my parents worked hard. They had money, and so I was able to relax a lot, growing up, but they also, taught me, work for your money. And like I had, jobs when I was younger and shit like that. But
you've always been self-determined to
that I have. I
it
can
on your own,
I can vouch for myself on that one.
Fuck yeah.
I've always liked, I guess, even like if it's like furniture and stuff like that, like people, when I first moved up here, people would like, hey, do you want, I have an extra microwave that we're not using right now. Or something that was like, they were saving it for their kid when they, eventually move out of the house, and they were like, you can use it for now if you want to. I was like, I'll just get my own. I'll get my own shit. Like, I want to have my own thing. I don't, like borrowing certain things is fine, but like I want my own shit. I want to have, the ownership of things that I want or things that I need or use. And that's why like Christmas and stuff is usually fucking weird for me. One of my friend's mom asked me like, all the time, like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? And it's like, I buy myself all the shit that I need. Right. All the things I want are really expensive, and that's why I haven't bought them for myself yet. Yeah,
it's like you want to pick it and like to be exactly what you want, not most of what you want.
Yeah, so it's like I'm not going to ask somebody to, buy me some shit that's, out of my own price range. Like that's fucked. So,
but you're not, I see that you like things nice, but you're not overly into the physical things. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Because my thing is, I just don't give a fuck. I just don't care about things like beds. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Okay, now when you say beds, mattresses.
Mattress on the floor. Good.
I'm not okay. So I'm not so far from that, because even like my setup, I was gonna say a good, like a quality mattress, something to sleep
Makes
on, that's so important to me. And I like having something to put it on but I'm also like right now my setup is it's like a futon situation. Not like a, folding couch futon, whatever, but it's the Japanese with like the big thick memory pad and then a rollout one on top of it.
Yeah.
And it was convenient at my last place because it was a studio, and it was nice to like, if you're going to have people over, I could just roll the fucker up, put it in the closet, and now I have room for people to come over.
Right.
And that I did just keep that one on the floor. Now I have a like a frame that's short, but it's like for that exact setup.
I was talking to, because I've done a lot of landscaping. I was talking to my mom. She was doing some flowers around the house, and like I've been getting progressively into flowers and growing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super into it. I got a couple plants going right now, but like I've never had my own place, but I don't feel like I would do landscaping or like try to like have a garden at my house, like if I had an imaginary house, because unless I was in the situation where I had enough time and money to do it how I want. Like,
right.
You know how like we've talked about the gold swimming pools with black water and hamster tubes of vape going through the house, and like big spiky goth roofs and
fuck yeah,
giant statues of my own art.
Dream house shit.
Yeah, dude. Like I feel like
Steven and Ricky's Barbie dream house.
Oh my god, it would be a blast. But I feel like if I can't go all the way in and like make it how I actually artistically or visually want it, I kind of like I give up, or I don't even know if it's give up. I just like don't care unless I can do it right.
Right.
And I just haven't had that option yet. So that's the goal, is to Scarface it up, get rich, and build.
The plan B is get rich enough that you can pay someone else to do it the way that you want it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like I have visions. It's funny you mentioned landscaping and stuff, because we were looking at this house, and the house is wild. It's really fucking big, and it's really cool. It's like a 2-family setup. So like my mom can take part of it. I can take the other one. It'd be so much cheaper than the situation we're in now. It's way cheaper than me getting my own fucking place, but it's separated entirely.
Nice.
So I would have my own, house basically. But we were looking at the yard, and it's like on a corner, and there's a bunch of space that was like, what could be really well done landscape shit, but it's like all overgrown weeds and shit. And it's like, I want to put in, the time to do something like this. I've never owned, have my own place like that.
Right.
I've always had apartments. So it's like, I want that kind of project. I like the idea of like taking something that, taking a house and flipping it kind of thing, but like doing it for me to live in.
Yeah.
So I can like build it the way fix it the way that I want it to be done.
Right. Now, if you had limited garden space, do you do flowers or food? Aesthetics or substance?
How limited?
Let's say it's 20 feet square. That's all you get.
A 20-foot square?
Where it's like small enough that splitting it becomes pretty impractical.
Yeah. Flowers.
Because
or bushes or something. It just because it's the kind of work that you're going to put into crops in that space. I don't think I'd get enough out of it for it to be worth the work.
The yield won't be worth the labor.
I get a salad every couple weeks or so in the summertime, and that's it. And then,
what's your favorite tree?
Favorite tree? You've asked me this before. A Japanese maple.
I know. I was gonna say that too. I really like the magnolias too, but they're only pretty at the right time of year, and the maples are pretty standard. Dude, one time, you would have loved it. It was actually the worst trip I've ever been in my life, but I think it was like freshman year of high school. So it was like right before shit was getting super fucked up for me. my family, my grandparents were both alive, and like my grandpa was a judge. He worked for the feds. He was an art dealer, all kinds of shit. I loved him to death, but I, especially as an adult, would have disagreed with a shit ton of stuff. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But he's 100% Lebanese, or was. My grandma was 100% Irish, and she always had wanted to go to Ireland. So it was my grandpa kind of giving in to my grandma's whims, and he took the entire side of the family to Ireland. And it's like 40 to 50 of us. So
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like big cash. You know what I mean? But it's all of us. So my whole family, and that side of the family has my uncle that took me to the church and all this shit. That's that side of the family. My other side of the family is the more rowdy group that I get along with a little better. So we go to Ireland for like 10 days, and we're in a tour bus all day. All 50 of us on a big bus driving through Ireland, and we'd stay at a hotel every night or whatever. And so 8 to 10 hours a day, we're just driving on a bus with your entire extended family.
It sounds awful.
Miserable, dude. I didn't give a fuck how pretty the cliffs were, the Blarney Stone, whatever the fuck it's called, the castles. I did not give a shit at all. I was just out of control, furious. And I remember I listened to Cyclone 9's album, Crown Thy Fornicator.
That probably wasn't helping very much.
No, not at all. I listened to it 54 times in a week, like just over and over, just like blowing my ears out on this angry shit. And, but we did go to this one place, and it was a famous castle that I can't remember the name of, but it had like Ireland's royal gardens. And it's like, maybe something like 20 acres of gardens, and it kind of looked like British style, like royal gardens with the perfect hedges and shit, the long green pastures. And honestly, that shit's lame as fuck to me. It looks like so man-made, you know what I mean? Like everything's angled and shit. But they did have one section of the garden that was a royal Japanese garden. Beautiful maples, bonsais, and it's just gorgeous. All these bridges and stuff. It was the coolest thing, like nature thing I've ever seen in my life. You would have loved it.
Nice. I have a that reminds me of, there's a place in Florida. It's near Ocala, I think. It might be a little further up than that.
What's Ocala?
But it's like Ocala is like Central Florida.
Okay.
There's it's like a nature preserve that's like it's like, it was I think it was a dentist's home, and like he like paid all this money to like have his backyard like excavated, basically like a quarry. And nice. There's like, there's a spring fed, pond at the bottom, and he's got all these giant fucking koi fish and shit in it, and all these exotic ass plants and flowers and stuff like all the way around, and like the landscape, like the wall, like the not brick, but like stone walls and stuff, and bridges, and just absolutely fucking gorgeous.
That sounds awesome.
Right? And there was like really cheap to go on like a walking tour through it, and but it was really cool. And it's right next to there's one of this, like a sinkhole with like a natural spring inside of it. You can like walk down, and people go like, like it's not spelunking, because you're not, it's like in the scuba diving. That's the one I'm thinking of. They go scuba diving like through the, the little caves and stuff under the water and whatever. And it's, but it was really fucking gorgeous. If you guys ever get a chance, we'll, you and Sarah come stay at, Cassidy Carter down in Florida there.
Outstanding. Man,
I'm signing up my dad for guests.
Count us in. Have you spent much time at Mount Airy Woods?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's my favorite.
Mount Airy was probably one of the ones I spent not like the least amount of time in. But Mount Airy is absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Dude, it's gorgeous. And I have sentimental connection because that's actually where Tony died, was at Mount Airy Woods. So like I go there to a specific spot every year, and like I would go there like throughout the week a lot. I haven't, not as much lately, but I used to a lot. And then by my old hood apartment on Hawaiian Terrace, there's an arboretum right off Coleraine Avenue going into Mount Airy Woods, and it is beautiful, dude. Like in the middle of Colerane's garbage world, there's just a little like perfect arboretum just on the side. And it's just like I love those little oases away from the trash world.
Now I have to check because I feel like you only because you said it twice. Arboretum, or is it arboreum?
I think it's arboretum. It's probably arboreum. It's probably whatever I'm not saying. But literally Rumpke the dump for the whole city is like 5 miles, like on the same street, like 5 miles down the road. And there's an arboretum with a beautiful pond and all these little ducks chirping and the nice woods. Right. Is it arboretum?
Yeah.
Nice. Got one right, bro.
We have a little area like that over here. Right next to my apartment building, there's a little swampland kind of preserve.
Nice.
And, in the wintertime it freezes over. It's, not a whole lot going on. Everything dies. But, like, even now, like, everything's coming back to life, and there's ducks and all kinds of fish and, like, kick-ass birds and shit. And it's really not even that big, but it's just, like a little, plot of land that's maybe a half mile by quarter mile or something. And
that's all it takes. It's just a little space for nature to do its own thing, and it's 10,000 times better than what we would do at the space.
Right.
Now, are there a lot of birds?
Yeah, we have a considerable number of local birds. It's pretty fun.
That is fun.
End up putting out bird seed for outside the window here for so my cats can watch the fucking birds come and play.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
What we've seen, of course, we got blue jays and cardinals. We get robins. We got these cool blackbirds with like this, like a stripe on the wing, and I forget what those are actually called. They have a specific name, and we get, of course, doves. We've seen woodpeckers out here, mockingbirds. Of course, the fucking Canadian geese.
Now, I don't think you get Detroit hummingbirds, do you?
No. At least I have not seen one.
Dude,
unless that's a thing from Urban Dictionary that I don't know about.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
It does.
I gave her the Detroit hummingbird.
Right.
But, dude, we get a ton of them at my mom's house. Got all the feeders out, and it's like there's like 5 of them there, like
nice.
Throughout the day. I love those they're little like fairies,
Mm-hmm. Oh, we actually, I lived in the west side, up near closer in that area for a while too, and we had a bunch of them come up. We had a little feeder sitting outside we had like one of those bay windows that kind of sits out, and you can like sit on the ledge, and we had it sitting out right in front of there. We actually had one of them fly up into the window and hit it, and he landed on top of the bush in front of it. We thought he was dead, but he hit it so hard he had to shake it off, and finally got back up. And
it's so funny how they fly into windows all the time.
Right.
Now, do you remember the turkey vultures?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Did you ever go on that bike ride place by the power plants? Like it's not on the west, near Sailor Park.
Oh no, I didn't spend much time over there.
Yeah, my dad he was into biking a lot, so he would take us on these bike rides to this place near Sailor Park. It's named after a president, some stupid shit. William Howard Taft Park or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's all these like coal plant, there's some sort of power plant electric shit. And dude, anytime you go there, hundreds, if not thousands of those ugly turkey vultures everywhere. It is so fucking trippy. It's like a horror movie. And they just sit there and eye you with their little weird eyes. Like, I hope you fall off your bike, boy.
I think the first time I ever saw one of those was actually in Florida. My dad had just moved down there, and he was staying at it was like a trailer park situation, and they had like a dumpster that everyone used for like their trash receptacle, and I was taking out the trash one day, and I'm walking up to the dumpster, and on top of the dumpster is this big ass fucking bird. I'm like 11 years old.
They're creepy, dude.
Oh, and he was so fucking big. I just remember thinking he's like kind of collected and he's sitting up on top of the thing. So it's like a big barrel of a bird. And you're like, fuck, man. That thing's almost as big as I am.
It looks straight out of Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's at that first stage before it evolves and splits into the dragon bird demon.
Right. And and they're so nasty, but like they are so essential, especially in like rural areas where you get more roadkill.
Yeah.
They do the fucking work, man. They put that shit in there. You could, you see a deer on the side of the road one day and it's gone the next. They pick that motherfucker clean.
Yeah. I saw a little baby raccoon roadkill the other day, and it was so cute. It made me want to go back to spray painting the hearts around it because it was so cute. I wanted to get a picture for the Trashcats.
Fallen soldier.
Yeah. People would be like, I don't like this.
Yeah, you can't post this on Instagram. You're banned.
Oh shit. What about you catching? I just finished Resident Evil 8. You've been catching Pokemon. Now you're out with work.
Yeah, man.
What you been getting,
hitting
bro?
the Pokemon Go.
I gotta trade you some shit.
Yeah, dude, hit me up on that. I got I recently I was hitting Pokestops because my the farmers market where the shop is got 2 or 3 of them nearby, and like all within range is just standing there and hitting them. Yeah. And then there's a few gyms, and I signed up. I'm on a team now. The red one.
Me too, homie.
Yeah.
I don't remember the names.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that one looks kind of cool. I'll take that person.
I just got a Dragonite and something else big this week. A Rhydon's evolution.
Oh shit!
It came out like in a later.
Yeah, there's so many of the newer generation ones that I don't know yet, and it's fun.
Cool,
some of them are cool looking.
Yeah,
I like the honeycomb one, the little flying honeycomb. Yeah, he's cool.
Dude, I have a shiny Sandslash.
Yeah, man.
And it looks like an ice version of Goku. With the
shit.
Like it's all like blue and white with like Goku's hair for spikes kind of thing. That's
fucking
rad.
dope. I'm into that.
I like trying to find a Pokemon that represents my friends. And then I think of that Pokemon. There's a shiny Meowth that is like purple and it's like flicking a gold piece looking all cute and sassy, and it's a Sarah.
Nice.
For sure. Like I like trying to find Pokemon for the friends in my life. It makes it more entertaining,
My goal was to find when I was making my character, I saw that Magikarp hat, and it was like, all right, that changes everything about the character creation. I was trying to make somebody cool looking, but now that I know I can do dumb shit like this, I made Dirk Dobson.
Yeah, Dirk Dobson.
Dirk Dobson.
Dude, I still have you in my phone as Snorlax. When I was calling you the other day, Will was like, Podcast Ricky is Snorlax too.
Damn right.
But I feel like you're not Snorlax anymore. You have Electrobuzz vibes. You have
Electrobuzz vibes?
You got different vibes, bro. Still Snorlax.
I can maybe see that one.
Something. I think you evolved or you changed into something.
And just Snorlax on coke. He's still Snorlax, but he's doing shit.
It's just like
he's got a day job.
Shit, dude, it's a fun way to kill time.
It is, man. And I look over and like my boss is playing disc golf on his phone. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just bust out some Pokemon Go real quick and hit some of these.
playing disc golf on a phone? Like,
I can, because I realize that he's doing the motions with his finger, and I'm doing the same thing in Pokemon Go, trying to spin the ball around and get the curve right.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah, I realized that too, because I was like, oh man, that's I never would have thought to do that one on mobile, and I realized I'm doing the same exact shit on mine. But mine's got animated characters on it. His is a legit sport.
Right. Sport. I've been enjoying the video games more lately, and I think we talked about it a little bit, but I've been getting way into. I don't like most sports, but I'm way into fighting right now. It's been so entertaining for me. I can live vicariously through other people a little bit. I enjoy it.
You know, it's funny, and I know you're gonna rag, because I kind of want to rag on myself for it too. I've been looking at I've been watching. I've seen a couple videos on like wrestling, and like, you know, it's some of the story arcs and the why, you know, goofy shit they did, or like why they did it to cover up for like someone had an injury, so they had to play it something. You know, they come up with some dumb shit.
Yeah,
and you know, there's this whole thing about like, you know, like wrestling's not real, and it's like, yeah, these are actors, and like sometimes they're actually really good. And it makes it fun, and it makes it interesting.
Dude, Brock Lesnar is in the UFC. He's a legit fighter, too.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're definitely athletes. They're definitely, you know, doing some wild acrobatic shit.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, it's harder to not hurt each other when you're doing the shit that they're doing.
They're on hella drugs, though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now, did you by chance catch... So, they took... all UFC stuff off Hulu while I was watching some fights, and instead it's like, watch WWE, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. And then I would I started watching it just like to bother Sarah and get some laughs out, you know what I mean? Because it's like a soap opera. And,
absolutely it is.
It's like 10 minutes of fighting for a 45-minute episode of drama. It's so funny. But have you seen the documentary on Andre the Giant that came out like this last year?
No, I have not.
Dude, it is outstanding. It's on HBO. It's but we'll get it. We'll get it for you. It's outstanding. Dude, the WWE and shit, they took advantage of him in his old age. Like,
I'm sure, yeah.
Cuz he was like by the time he shot that movie, what is the movie that he was real popular with, the castle and the poison wine?
Oh, the
Bride.
Princess Bride.
Yeah, by the time he was shooting Princess Bride, they had to build a cable system to hold the girl in his arms because he could hardly stand. He couldn't hold any weight. He was totally broken down physically because of his size.
Wow.
Dude, there are legitimate accounts of him drinking more than 100 beers at a time.
Yeah.
Like, and not being drunk, not being altered, just like normal. He would drink like 4 bottles of vodka, 10 bottles of wine, like every fucking day. It's out. It's just out of this world. Crazy.
Right.
They said his existence towards the end was just so painful to live. But he never showed it. He was always marble. He was always giant. He just like wouldn't admit to hurting, but he just self-medicated and was always like happy and like smiling. He's the one that made Hulk Hogan's whole career.
Right.
It's wild. I wish I had a giant friend.
Right. They showed a picture of I seen a picture of his hand the other day holding a beer can. Jeez. It's like, it just looks like a toy. It looks like a miniature. Fucking like, what a monster. What a gigantic man.
Yeah, they had to like craft chairs for him, and it's like 3 times a normal chair just to get his butt on it. And it's like had to be reinforced for his weight. He was what was it, like 500 pounds?
I wouldn't doubt that. Easily. And to be an athlete while you're, you know, that big and trying to, like I said, do the acrobatic crazy shit that they do.
Dude, he was 7'4", 520 pounds.
Yeah, that's a unmovable object right there. A movable object, absolutely.
Like, I can feel my joints screaming at me.
Right.
Just reading that. Jesus Christ. It's
Imagine
crazy.
The size of his fucking skeleton. Jesus. That's like the Lich King skeleton or some shit.
Right. It's kind of crazy. Shepard Fairey took off with Andre the Giant's imagery. Right?
Yeah.
I don't even get it, because as much as I like Andre and see how he could be a cult icon, I don't get why that symbol would become that overly hyped.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid.
I feel like that was happening. I feel like that was a thing before we were even like old enough to. I mean, maybe I'm placing it wrong, but I feel like that was like an established thing that I grew up in. I thought it was much older than it was, maybe.
It was like just slightly before our time, so by the time we got to it, it was already big.
It was pop art, yeah.
Did you see the big tag that's popular in Texas right now?
No.
It's this dude started tagging like very obscene tags, like anal something or like blah blah blah, and he started tagging Texas Cummer all over the town in graffiti. And then the two artists involved, they started making these shirts, and it's like a design of like a silhouette of a stripper, and it says like Big Texas Cummer, and it's like all over their city because all these other graffiti artists have decided they want to rep it, and it's become like a brand for that like town or whatever. So it's that's like taken off.
Amazing.
They had a news photo, like, news montage, and it's just like Texas Big Cummer like all over the buildings, and like the residents are asked like what they think of it, and they're all like, some of them are pissed, but most of them think it's really funny, so they can't stop it from spreading everywhere. Big Texas Cummer.
I fully support it. I'm here for it. That's fucking hilarious.
I love it. Oh shit. How did we get to that?
Right. We were talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminded me documentary on wrestlers. I watched a thing a little while ago about Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And first of all, listening to Stone Cold Steve Austin talk about his life, and he's not in character. He's still, he still has an accent, but it's like he's a very serious and intellectual man.
Yeah,
he's talking about like beforehand, like him going on the road, and the homeboy was talking about he'd eat like a raw potato a day, and like that's what he lived on. Wow. And then like he did that because otherwise he wouldn't have enough money to get to the next gig.
Oh, I got.
And because he did that, then he would gain the following and got picked up. But
I just saw an episode of him on Hot Ones. I was like, oh, I guess I'll watch this one.
Was it margarita recipe I make was a Stone Cold Steve Austin original.
Oh my god, dude, you're funny. I just saw there's another wrestling documentary called like behind the mat, something like that was real popular. But there's another one, I think, just on Jake the Snake. Mm-hmm. That was really interesting because he was like such a crazy addict and out of control lifestyle, and then he'd get it together and they'd put him back on. His documentary was pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, I was looking for something. It was for a highlight reel for Rob Van Dam.
What?
The Rob Van Dam, he's cool as hell. No, Rob Van Dam's dope. He does like wild, jumping off the top ropes almost every time. The 5-star frog splash and rolling thunder. Bro. But he does the shit with like the tables, ladders, and chairs matches and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the wrestling I really think is interesting.
Was the most
the
cool
focal
stuff.
The total nonstop action motherfuckers that make each other bleed and shit. Like it's fucked up, but it's entertaining for sure. And even if what.
Your Juggalo Ricky Hacky.
Yeah.
Your Juggalo Ricky hat is showing.
Yeah, it is. Hey, man, I had that backyard wrestling game for fucking PS2 back in the day.
Now, what's that other wrestling league that is extreme? Like, it's got some stupid
ECW?
name. Yeah, Vice did a documentary on the guy because he was like charged with the murder and went to prison for so many years and got out. Then he founded it, and it's like real tables, ladders, chairs matches, and they kept getting like shut down by the police, and now they're like a real thing, right?
I don't know. It's been a little while.
Gotcha. Some of that shit was pretty wild. I appreciate it, but it's also like it's hard to watch because there's a lot of mental illness involved. Unlike where WWE, it's a theatrical event, it's a show.
Right, yeah.
But these people are like poor and actually mutilating themselves, and I would have really enjoyed that for a while. It gets hard to watch though.
Like some JCW, it's Juggalo Champion shit wrestling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Maybe we'll talk about it later. The two cats idea.
Uh-huh.
Dude, the story is so much juicier than you expect. The dude went to prison for over 6 years for it on federal charges.
And what charges?
For obscenity charges. Obscene material. Distributing obscene material by the federal government. Yeah,
I guess.
And it gets crazier. The judge they got tried 3 times by the feds before they could convict him. And the first time was dismissed because the judge also was sharing some of the dude's shit, basically, on his own personal porn website.
What the fuck?
Dude, the whole story gets so ridiculous. We'll have a blast with that. I can't wait.
We're definitely going to talk about 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Dude, it's crazy. The dude went to prison. He also was doing some other fucked up shit which contributed to it. But the government at that time, they had these obscenity task forces that went after Girls Gone Wild, 2 Girls, 1 Cup. And we see it today in like the changes to Pornhub and the
now
religious marketing.
I get
Brett Kavanaugh was involved.
2 Girls, 1 Cup. I can understand of the obscenity. No. Girls Gone Wild.
Girls Gone Wild doesn't even relate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah,
that's nothing. That's barely porn.
And then they also, at the time, because this is like, gay stuff was not accepted at all, they hardcore tried to lock up a famous gay pornography actor just because he was kind of the most well-known gay pornography guy at the time. They tried to make an example of him and send him to prison, calling his material too obscene. This is like in the 2000s. Like 2008.
That's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, all of it's... I mean, it's I'm sure there's a lot of bullshit going on in that industry.
Of course.
But like, if people are getting, like doing things that they're consenting to and they're being paid for it and like, whatever.
There's a lot of those reasons that are acceptable, but just based on what is produced, that's freedom of speech, that's art, whatever, you can't say it's too obscene. But, these people's court cases dictated that the freedoms we have related to sex and pornography today. So I think it'll be fun to discuss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's still so many fucking problems, but...
Yeah, the whole... I don't know. I think the whole sex worker thing is kind of blown out of proportion. We need to lighten up on that shit or find a way to regulate it so it can be done safely.
Yeah, we need to support these people. Help them. Help people make the healthy decisions, right?
Right, exactly.
Who the fuck are we locking up? It's fucking stupid.
That being said...
Oh, is that how you're gonna do it?
I mean, I was thinking about it. I was gonna say, you got anything else you wanted to get off your chest?
I don't know, man. I enjoy this a lot as always. I really am having, anxiety is normally not a problem for me as much. It used to be, but like depression's the thing. I'm having more anxiety than usual, but I'm really trying to be positive, and I am not naturally positive at all. I am naturally, I think everything's going to fail. I'm very sarcastic and I just don't think shit's ever going to be good. And I choose to fight my true nature. Like, you know, the AA, like 30-day coin, like one of their big slogans is be true to thyself. And I remember being like, why the fuck are you putting that on the coin? Why would you say, if I'm being true to myself, I'm getting fucked up and leaving this shit, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I have to fight my true nature a lot of the time, and positivity just does not come naturally. So I'm very determined to make these choices. I just want things to be different. Stability.
I will say
creative pursuits. Wow, I just had a stroke.
Apparently, yeah, man, you about died right there. I thought it was the end of the show for sure, like for good. Call it quits after this one. Steven's dead.
Dead, bro.
When you were telling me about your test and you were worried about it, I had a flashback to, like, my mom would tell me all the time when she was doing school, for her thing, that she was worried about it, or she studied a bunch, but she didn't think she did really well on that test or whatever. And it's like, then she aced it, and it's like, but it was like a repeated pattern of that. It would be like, Mom, what the fuck are you worried about? Like, you're definitely, like all the other people in class would like come to her to like do notes and study groups and stuff. And like, cause she like retained stuff and did it well. And it's like, she would worry every single time and get herself all worked up and then, find out she aced it. And it's like, fucking duh. And like, when you told me that you were like worried about the test, I think I might've even been like, that sucks, man, buckle down or whatever. But the whole time I'm like, this motherfucker's going to pass this test.
Honestly, dude.
You were telling me the whole time, like, all these other people, like, you don't know how the fuck they're even doing it because they're like not turning in shit or whatever. And yeah, I didn't doubt you for a second.
That means a lot. I really, though, on this one, I could do the math. And I was, even though I did good, it was still 9%. So it's like, guess wrong on 6 questions. Like, I feel like the first practice version I took, I just happened to guess wrong on 5 questions. And on this one, I feel like I guessed right. You know what I mean? Like, it really did feel tight. But being positive, it's just not natural. You know what I mean? It's not for me.
Yeah. That is, I can see where that presents its challenges.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to like balance it out in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm going to do something very positive, I have to sneak in something semi-negative or it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
I'm going to think positive, but I'm going to act like a dick about it.
Yeah, I'm going to think positive and then like brand my chest or like, I have to find things that like I'm gonna think positive today, and I'm gonna throw a rock through that window. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have that balance, right?
I love the new society that we have here, where we're wearing the masks to serve food to people, and if someone's being an asshole, I can be shooting them a glare, I can kind of look at them like, what the, mouth, like, what the fuck are you, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Without them knowing that I'm doing it.
See, I'm the opposite. People think I'm scowling at them all the time, and then I talk to them and say something nice at the gas station, and they're like taken aback.
Steven's got resting bitch face.
Dude, 100%. I look like an asshole all the time. It's funny you got the opposite going. That's a good thing, though.
Oh, I feel like I might get, I don't know, I might get that too, but like, you turn on your, I can look at somebody while they're being a shithead, while they're, being a shitty customer, and I can give them the appearance that I'm doing my solid customer service look, and then in the meantime, like, I'm naming their ticket some, celebrity, some shitty looking, celebrity knockoff that they look like.
Dude, that's...
I'm ragging on them in the comment section on the kitchen ticket.
You got the dark side in you too.
I can't really let it come out as much as I would like in my particular job, but
right. And then somebody opens your sketchbook one day that you left out. And like, oh my god, what the fuck?
I did have to be careful about that.
I know.
It's like when I'm in charge of people, and they open up and they see like, graphite drawings of body parts, and it's like,
you just gotta.
What's wrong with Ricky?
Right.
What's wrong?
My boss is gonna eat me.
Right.
Do you got any last things to get off your chest or whatever? Anything? Any thoughts? Any hates?
Of course, I'm going to think of something the minute we hit stop on here for sure. But no, nothing I can think of.
What about philosophy?
Philosophy. I couldn't remember what it was.
Memory.
Kamet. Yep, memory. That's a good one.
Dude, it's the saddest subject matter of all time.
Yeah. It's
so beautiful.
I was just thinking, I was telling somebody, talking about Alzheimer's the other day, and it's like, that's, someone said not too long ago to me, like, what are you afraid of? Like, what are your fears? Because they're talking like they're scared of spiders and like snakes or something. And I was like brain aneurysm and Alzheimer's. Those are the two. Ones. Yeah.
That's a lot more scary than a spider to me.
Yeah.
I can eat a spider. I can't eat a brain aneurysm.
Yeah. It's like, even like spiders, like the percentage of like recluses and black widows I've seen in my life is so small. I don't live in an area where that's a huge problem,
Yeah.
Snakes, they can startle you if they pop up out of nowhere, but do you know the general guideline of, some of the colors to look for, the head shape to look for, then you're fine.
Yeah, snakes are awesome. I had this guy for a while that wanted to trade me pythons for art.
Oh, shit.
He was a ball python breeder. And
that sounds so sketch.
Yeah, but he's like legit. He's got like a following on TikTok. Like he is a real breeder kind of thing, and he's got like a whole brand to it or whatever. And I think he was down to trade some art for pythons. And it's like you get pythons, ducks, animals like that. You get them in the mail, bro. It's crazy. They send you a heated package with your snakes.
That's pretty fucked.
I think there's some really dark sides to it. Yeah. But if the person really cares and it's done, like, it's expensive shipping and you really are making it as comfortable as possible to animal, I think it can be okay. But I think there's a lot of people that aren't not doing it right.
I mean, even like dog breeding and shit, I feel like that's pretty fucked.
Dog breeding gets pretty fucking cruel.
Yeah, it's using an animal for profit when, there's already so many that need like homes and shit. That's really fucked up to me.
And then like the super specific breeds, it's like you are inbreeding the same worst genetic factors. Yeah.
That's a whole another layer of it. That's fucked.
Yeah. Dude, when I worked at, I was volunteering at SPCA, right? Not our school, not the art school, the dog pound. I was volunteering at the dog pound for a couple of years. And, I wanted to work with the cats mostly at the time, like help out a couple days a week or whatever. But they want you to do the dogs, and I wanted to as well. Dude, this particular pound is like one of the worst ones in the state. It's got to be. It is a straight hell scene. It's just kennels full of hundreds of dogs. They're all triple, quadruple caged. There's like what do you call it? The little trough of piss running, and it's just like hell on earth. Just dogs screaming, barking, screaming. It's like you try to open the cage and one of them runs out immediately. And they're 95% pit bulls.
Yeah.
The first 4 dogs I tried to take out bit me. 4 dogs in a row. And it's like, if you report it, you just killed 4 dogs in half an hour. Like, I can't do this. The cats are
like
fun,
it's not it's not their fucking fault anyways. They're put into a certain situation.
Yeah. It's so shitty. People are so bad to their animals. Animals are better than people. Like I'm gonna fuck up his name. DMX said. I get the X and M fucked up every time.
DXM. That's dextromorphan. Yeah.
Yeah, get some robo tripping in the desert.
Robo trip, dude. Look at that RoboCop go.
That was some desperate shit, huh?
Yeah, man.
What about Banana Dine or the Nutmeg?
Okay, the Nutmeg one, I remember that one. What the fuck is Banana Dine?
It's funny. There's a whole history to the drug because it is a real drug, but it was in one of the early versions of the Anarchist Cookbook. And it was the version of the Anarchist Cookbook that first hit the internet and went like wildfire. So everybody has these copies of the Anarchist Cook that in the drug section where it can teach you how to cook meth, it has Banana Dine. And it's a drug made from the peelings of banana skin. And supposedly, like, you scrape out the banana peels, you dry it out, you like cook it or some shit. Like cold water extract, some bullshit process. And supposedly you turn it into a powder that has psychedelic attributes, right? And this may be a myth altogether, but supposedly, if I remember correctly, it was researched that it actually did have some psychedelic properties, just like smoking bed bugs. Like, that's a thing. You could actually trip if you do it. Lots of people got lung diseases. That was like a big thing with like real poor people. They'd make traps and catch them and torch them up and shit. And you can trip balls, but it's like you're killing yourself rapidly. Right. So supposedly the banana thing you could get a trip effect, but it took literally, the math was like, it was like over a ton of bananas to make a single dose. But in the version of the cookbook, it made it seem like it was like 10 bananas. So all these kids, because an internet version of the Anarchist Cookbook, all these edgy high school kids for like half a decade were cooking up Banana Dine in their parents' kitchen. And of course, it doesn't do anything at all.
Right.
So it's just like a funny thing because a lot of people remember the days of Banana Dine, thinking it was a possibility to get high off your bananas as a kid when you can't get weed,
They're talking about eating morning glory seeds.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
No, it's certainly not a good thing. It's like with that one, even like the nutmeg, it's like the amount that you have to consume to get any kind of effect is just going to make you sick.
You get a psychedelic effect when you cause liver failure.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
A thing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, oh, you're feeling trippy? It's because your liver enzymes are breaking down, homie. Oh, you feel good right now? Does that toad poison feel good? Does that bed bugs feel good in your lungs? Yeah.
Just go smoke a joint, dog. I mean, I guess it's easier now than it was then, but...
Definitely. It's so funny what kids will do. That shit was a blast, though. Experimenting on shit that will never work.
That'll never fucking work.
It's a blast.
Yeah, fucking smoking, crushing up poppy seeds and trying to smoke it.
That, in theory, I think you could get something, but not really.
Yeah, the amount that you would need, and if you don't grind it, and there's so many variables that like.
And the only like certain strains of the poppy really have any amount of opiate that would be enough to affect your receptors to feel anything. So like eating a poppy seed bagel every day on an extremely sensitive, which is very rare except in certain situations, drug test that goes to a lab, you technically can fail for opiates. And during the 80s, 70s or whatever, there was even a Seinfeld episode where Elaine eats an everything bagel and fails a drug test for work. And back then, that was more plausible. Now it is not, unless you like were purposely eating a ton.
Just chugging poppy seeds.
Right. But dude, at one point I was trying to grow real poppies because it's hard to get the right like real strains of poppies that can be converted to opium or it all comes down to morphine in the end, but they're kind of hard to get, but they're still semi-legal in a way to get the seeds.
I remember the morning glory thing. There's somebody in Florida was telling me about it, and they were like, you just get them from Home Depot. You can go down there and get a bunch of them. And we were looking at them online, and it's like all of them are like they have chemical what's it called, like
pesticides.
Yeah, pesticides. Like they're all the seeds are treated with pesticides. And this dude's telling us how he like buys a bunch of bags of them and grinds them up and like snorts them and smokes them and shit. And it's like, dude, you're just poisoning yourself. You're so hard just poisoning yourself. Just go get some Raid and drink it real quick, dog.
Right. To that point, though, everything's poison. Something's going to kill us. You just got to find the right things, right? To live is to suffer, and try to moderate your poison.
Yeah, man. Go crush up some fucking Morning Glory and opium seed or poppy seeds and go fucking nuts.
Mix it with some banana paste.
Yeah, banana paste.
A little dash of nutmeg, a little spritz of some Raid.
That's mostly kind of like a smoothie thing you got going on. Get some the poppy seeds. You can probably do something with that. They don't have too much of a flavor, and the nutmeg and the banana. You can get a good smoothie going out of that. I might have to recommend that one. We use hemp hearts.
Oh shit, man! Does that do us? Anything?
Yeah, that does us.
All right.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. Thank you to Approaching Human for the use of his music. You can find his work on SoundCloud at Approaching-Human.
Thanks, John.
Yep, thank you, John. Make sure you check out the show page at TrashcatsXtrashcast on Instagram for news and art from the show. And check out the Reddit at TrashcatsxTrashcast on Reddit.
Yep, new Reddit. It's going to be dead.
Yep, ain't going to be nobody there. Ain't going to probably be much of shit of anything, but we can build on it.
We need your help, Trash Cats. If you are bored, you can check out my super trash art at Skyzix, SKYZICX. Shout outs to our honorable mentions today, Anubis at Money Overseas and at Anubis_FX, and my homie Stroke of Moonlight at Stroke of Moonlight. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Tune in our next episode on Wednesday. Do you want to announce it?
Yeah, man, we're going to do Gothic art and culture and its origins.
Yeah, the goth aesthetic. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun art one.
Oh yeah, it's gonna roll.
We're just gonna clown on goth kids and find my old high school photos. You just had 2 cats into your room that are very cute.
Oh, cool! They're ready to play. It means means it's definitely time to go.
Hell yeah! All right,
that's gonna be all for us today. Stay classy, eat trashy,
go fast, eat trashy.